welcome back to the Whatnauts, a pop culture variety podcast all about the media we love and a whole lot more. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined, as always, by Melissa Wilkinson, who told me that she could hear in my voice that I had a rough week. Which is true.
After you said like 5 words to me, I'm like, oh, Kyle sounds different.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah. I'll start off with that. How about it? So we can just get that out of the way here.
This is funny, right?
To an extent, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I maybe had one of the worst weeks of my life this past week.
All right.
That's a slight exaggeration. I don't know if it's actually the worst week of my life, but everything was blowing up at the same time is essentially what was happening. So you and I recorded the previous episode of this podcast, our big F1 for beginners show. And side note, if you all were wondering, like, I thought Paradise was next. That's still happening. This is just an extra one in between. So we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, we recorded that, and then I opened up my computer on Monday to be like, okay, I need to edit the podcast and get that out. And I could just tell my computer was running slow. And I was like, okay, that's not the greatest. And then I tried to put the edit together, and it stalled. The progress bar on like how far it had gotten like stopped like halfway through, and the little section that was like time remaining, instead of counting down, was counting up. So it had gotten like it slowed down so much exponentially that it started to go the other way. Which I've run into that issue previously on my older graphics card. But I could always just like stop everything, shut the program down, restart my computer, and it would fix itself. So that's what I did. Restarted everything, opened it back up, hit I typed in the little password thing to get on my computer. Black screen. Nothing. I could still move the mouse, so I was like, well, something's up here. Like I don't know.
Mouse in a void is so sad.
It really is.
Nothing to click on.
And so, yeah, like I can't like go to the start menu and restart. So I have to like manually restart it. And I just kept getting this black screen every time I logged in. So at that point, I was like, uh-oh, something's really up here. This is not good. So I text a friend of mine who is much better with computers. He knows how to build them. He's in IT. You know, he knows all of that stuff. I was like, hey, man, I need help. Like, please, I will offer you money. And so we spent the next 4 days trying to diagnose what was wrong with my PC. Like tearing it apart, swapping out parts and cables and ports and all of this stuff. And we couldn't really figure it out. We thought we narrowed it down to my graphics card. And it was at the point where I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to like send this back into the manufacturer to be like, fix it. You guys do it. And thankfully, like I was trying one more test, and I was able to turn my computer on when I had reinstalled my older graphics card, and it booted up pretty fast. And so I was like, okay, that's a good sign. I logged in. I was able to log in just fine. That seemed good sign. Went to export the podcast. Lightning fast, everything seemed to work fine, and I was like, I think this is it. It was my graphics card. Heck yeah! And then when I'm testing the video, because also as I'm doing all these tests, I'm trying to like re-render the video because I never got a full one. And then other tests, like my audio was weirdly out of sync, even though in the program it was in sync. Something was wrong. So I look at this brand new video. Everything is in sync. However, I've forgotten that the audio file for our intro music is on an external hard drive that I had. and I hadn't plugged it in yet. So it didn't make it into this export of the video. And I was like, well, at least I know my computer's working. And so I plug in the hard drive and boom,
Oh
everything
no.
goes back down, black screen, all of that stuff, not happening, not good. And that, thankfully, at that moment, I was like, oh, I know what it is. It's it's the external hard drive. It's not the graphics card. It's all of that stuff. I
Mm.
unplug the hard drive. Whoop, everything comes back up like it's been brand new. So I was like, sucks, because everything for the Whatnauts is on that hard drive.
Oh no.
Melissa, I had to recreate our logo. I had to redo everything on OBS here that you see. I had to like I had to redo everything. I've lost so much stuff.
Wow.
I'm not even done. You get like the talking indicator bar that we have underneath there. Haven't built that out yet. I don't have our spoiler alert thing built out yet. There's things I don't have like finished yet, but I was like, I need to rebuild and do some things here. So I'm in the midst of all of that. But that was the big major thing, right? So
Uh-huh.
on top of that, this is like Wednesday night. My computer is in pieces. At the same time, my cat, Simba, for the past year and a half has been dealing with a medical issue. I won't get too into the details because it's kind of gross. But in short, his anal gland keeps rupturing.
Oh
Which
no.
is, yeah, it's not a great sight. It's not unheard of in cats, but it's not super common either. But if it happens, it usually happens once, maybe twice, maybe a third time if you're unlucky. But it could just go away on its own, and it would never come back. And so Simba has had this thing happen to him like 8 or 9 times at this point, I feel like.
No.
So
Ugh.
it's a recurring issue. Some are a lot worse than others. Like the first time it happened, we didn't catch it or like the signs. So once we did, it was already pretty bad. Last time it happened was New Year's, and it was like I caught it. So we have this like cushion thing that we put around his neck. It's like the cone of shame,
Uh-huh.
but it's softer. It's more comfortable. He can sleep with it on. He can still have his peripheral vision and stuff like that. And that one, I just kind of monitored him. He's fine. He just can't lick that spot. And so it happened again. On top of that, he's been having some kind of like nasal infection or something. On top of it, he's been having like really bad sneezing fits and snot getting all over his face and stuff like that.
Ugh.
All sorts of stuff. So we finally took him to the vet. He got some more antibiotics, and he hates these antibiotics. It looks like a little thing of milk, but I have to like inject it into his mouth, like down his throat, and he hates it.
Ugh.
So it often ends up like more on me or on the floor because he'll like spit it back up or something. So I'm just like, ugh, all right, whatever. I guess you're not getting antibiotics tonight, or you got as much as you're gonna have, right? So Wednesday night, he has this big pillow around his neck, so he has some trouble getting in and out of his litter box, or sometimes we'll come out of it and there's
Uh-huh.
like a little poop stain on it. We're just like, okay, we'll switch him out. We have a second one, and then we'll wash that one. He comes out not just with a tiny poop stain on his thing, but he has stepped in his own poop and gotten it all over him. I don't know what happened in there, but some episode happened. He got it all over him. So he starts tracking it all over the house. I'm trying to clean him up, but he's not having it. He's like, no, don't touch me. So I'm like, my computer is in pieces. My cat has stepped in his own poop and is tracking it all over the house. And then in the midst of that, Onyx, my other cat, decides to start throwing up everywhere. And so I'm just like, like screaming, like, what is happening? Everything is blowing up.
This is that gif from Community where Donald Glover has the pizza.
Yeah, I just, it was like, I was so stressed from everything of like, I need to get this podcast out. I have another podcast coming up. Like, we're gonna do, like, I need to get this fixed. I'm so thankful that we switched to this like every other week schedule so that but I thankfully figured it out, and I spent some time recreating everything. I'm gonna have to recreate all of the little like icons that we use on our podcast art, the flag for the F1 thing, and like all of that stuff. I have a lower res version of our podcast art. Thankfully, I don't need to like re-put it up anywhere every time, but it would still be nice to have. Like, let me recreate that and, just get a higher version. But yeah, that has been my week. On top of work has just been extra busy and stressful, and everything has been a nightmare. So yeah, you could probably hear it in my voice. So that's what I've been up to. How you been doing, Melissa?
I'm better, I guess. Oh, I got my work troubles. I did, my event planning misadventures as much as anybody. Nothing narrative, no story I have to drag you here and tell you.
Good.
I understand now that this recording is not just a time between friends, but you need the technical experiment of, can I still run this?
Yes.
Let me try it again.
Yeah.
How do I put the stuff back on it?
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to recenter your camera just slightly. I think everything is working, but also my Stream Deck seems to not be turning on at the moment. So hopefully when I change scenes and stuff like that, you're in the right place. You're not halfway off the screen or something like that. But we shall see. Yeah. But all of this does help too. But I thought between the Oscars happening, between Formula One, that kind of stuff happening, there's a lot going on, and I was like, let's just slip an extra one in. Let's do one more episode, because we might not get
now. Of
time
course,
to talk
that because I am here, I am not watching Paradise. I have still only watched 1.5 episodes of Paradise.
That is A-okay. I watched episode 3 right before we started recording.
Okay.
So.
All right. So neither of us are on schedule.
Yeah. And I think we're still on schedule. I think I
don't watch things fast.
I told you there was 10 episodes. That's not true. There's 8. So 2 episodes less than that. So you're
8 is less than 10.
You're almost a quarter of the way done. Not bad. Might watch one
Very
more
optimistic.
tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got time. You got plenty of time.
I love how much you believe in the time that I have.
You can do it, Melissa.
I wish the rest of my life believed in its time the same way that you do.
Yeah. If you don't believe in yourself, believe in me who believes in you, right?
Well, I did have to cram in a lot of Oscar catch up in the week before the ceremony. I have to watch anything that stands to win anything or be heavily referenced. I finally watched K-pop Demon Hunters 6 months after the rest of Earth.
Right. Yeah. Good. That's a great one.
I watched The Secret Agent, the international film from Brazil that had several nominations this year.
Okay.
I think you would like The Secret Agent. And I watched If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, the movie where Rose Byrne truly has the worst week of her life. You want to feel better about your time on Earth, watch Rose Byrne.
Okay.
There's a scene at the beginning of the movie. She gets a pizza. She drops the pizza on the ground. Whoops. and then opens the pizza box up, and all the cheese is stuck to the lid. So it's like cheese stuck to lid, and then just like crust and sauce.
Bottom pizza, top cheese, right? Is that the
bottom pizza, top cheese?
Yeah. None pizza, left
And then
beef.
she takes it home and eats it. She eats the sauce crust, and then she just rolls up the like cheese skin and just stuffs that in her mouth.
Sure.
And I'm like, these are all the same ingredients in a slice of cheese pizza. But when you separate it and you just have like the sleeping bag of cheese, it feels more depraved somehow. And I've never thought about that before. That if you take a normal food and split it up into its component parts, that it becomes something unholy, bad to see.
I mean, yeah, or it could be serendipitous, like a taco salad, right? Like it's the same ingredients, but it's like I was about to say decomposed, but it's not decomposed.
So she doesn't eat a cheese pizza slice. She eats a sauce crust, and then she eats a wad of cheese.
Yeah.
And I guess it would be like if you ate a handful of ground beef and then ate a handful of lettuce.
Sure. Or
and
like,
I don't like that image.
Like,
don't do that.
Or if you eat a Lunchable by like sucking out the pizza sauce and then taking a bite of the bread.
Right, you just eat all of those little bologna circles together as one unit.
Yeah, exactly.
Combine your foods. Don't eat them separate. That's our lesson today. Did you watch the Oscars?
I did not. I did not watch any. I had a hockey game at the same time, so yeah.
How was the hockey?
We won, so good.
All right.
for us.
Who's we? Seattle?
Seattle Kraken, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's only great to be part of a we. Congratulations.
Like, right, yeah. The only thing, like I've seen some stuff on social media, obviously. Congrats to K-pop Demon Hunters and Sinners and One Battle After Another and all that stuff. The only thing that I like your world crossing into mine was that apparently is Jeff Keighley, who is the creator of the Game Awards and Summer Game Fest, which I had you watch some of the Game Awards and his award show. His father passed away this past year and apparently worked in something with IMAX and had some big contributions to that and getting... I'm not sure what the details are exactly. But something about movies and IMAX and all of that stuff. So when they did the in memoriam section and his father was not in there, he was very disappointed and took to social media to express his disappointment. Say like, hey guys, like my dad had a like big impact on this and he was not in this section, like wasn't even mentioned. And then the CEO of the Oscars blocked him on social media.
Oh no.
Because of that. Yeah. I don't know the details beyond that, but that was a like, hey, I know the Oscars happened. Hey, Jeff Keighley is talking about the Oscars. Oh, huh. Weird. Interesting. So that's all I know.
I don't know the rules on who gets into an in memoriam. I know not everybody... I don't know if it can't only be people who are in the academy, but maybe it's only people who would have theoretically been eligible to be in the academy and like they belong to a corresponding branch, like the actors branch, the directors branch. And I don't know if like film science is like, it is the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. I don't know. I don't know who goes where. Maybe like the actual like science awards that they did a couple weeks ago had an in memoriam and maybe he was there. I don't know.
I'm not sure what the details are exactly. I have since seen one post from IGN since then that were like, oh, here's some other people who were not in the in memoriam section that maybe should have been. So I don't know how all that works or who is in there. But
it seems like a tough thing to put together.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, talk to me about the
Oscars are
Oscars.
fun. Your loss for not watching these things. Wild things happened. Did you hear that there was a tie this year?
I did not. No. Mm-mm.
There was a tie, which is not unheard of, but it's very rare. The last time this happened was in like 2012 when two films tied for sound mixing. It was like Gravity and Zero Dark 30. Both had equally good sound. This year, it was two of the live action short films. A very low stakes category. I mean, high stakes for the people who were in it and got two sets of winners out of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, and it didn't affect my ballot at all. It just gave me an extra. I got it like 19 and a half right instead of, I guess,
right. Yeah.
a whole 19. It's really, I just take it as a bonus. But this award was presented by Kumail Nanjiani, and he opens the envelope and he's like, it's a tie. I'm not joking. It is literally a tie. Everybody, stay with me here. Focus up. We're going to get through this together. I'm going to read one film name. You come up here. You accept your award. Then I read the other film's name. You come up here. You accept your award. And it was so well managed. Like, he handled it so gracefully. And I learned afterwards, nobody had prepared him for that. As he opened the envelope, he is learning for the first time that there is a tie. Nobody told him what to do if there was a tie. If you're a presenter, apparently they don't prep you just in presenter class. And they don't give you a PowerPoint. In case of tie,
here's what you do.
Right. Yeah. He did just do that on his own. And I found that so impressive.
Cool.
From a hero of event planning. Give him his own award. I don't know, but something.
Right. Yeah. I did hear they introduced him as having the body of a superhero and the voice of a comic book collector or something like that.
The body of the physique of a Marvel Comics hero, the voice of a Marvel Comics collector.
Right. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that makes it on my feed, which is like, I don't know how useful that information is. It's like, gee, thanks, IGN or whoever this was.
We've determined you only need to know about this.
Right,
these singular quips taken out of context. Fun ceremony. There's lots of parts of it I really liked. The performance of the song from Sinners, they recreated that scene entirely. Like, they're on stage.
Oh, amazing.
They did all of I Lied to You with all the performers and all the camera movements. I've seen beautiful, lavish musical numbers at the Oscars. I've not seen one where they tried so carefully to recreate exactly how that song is played in the film.
Yeah.
Especially when how the song is played in the film is so complicated. Again, a triumph of getting the pieces put together.
That's awesome.
This Autumn Durald Arkapaw, the cinematographer of Sinners, won, which was a surprise because the cinematographer of One Battle After Another had taken on most of the precursors. So she's the first woman to win that award.
Heck yeah.
She made every woman in the audience stand up.
Heck yeah.
Which I don't know how I would feel if I was in a crowd and I was asked to stand up purely for being a woman. I'm like, have I not earned the reward of sitting?
It would probably be your choice.
Right. I'm not a big standing up person. I did turn my standing desk back on today for the first time in a long time, and I stood for 20 minutes.
There you go.
And then I'm like, I'm good. I'm going back to my chair.
Yeah, I technically have a standing desk too,
right.
But I've unplugged it because I have the one I just hit the button and it like automatically rises up. I've kept mine unplugged for years.
Like, I have to stand in the kitchen. I stand plenty. The desk is where I come to rest.
Exactly.
This is what counts as rest to me.
Exactly.
Today I thought about what if I got myself a coffee mug that said, "Don't talk to me until I've had my work."
Not a morning person, not an afternoon person. I'm an after work person.
I'm so task focused. I'm like, I come into the office in the morning and they're like, "How was your weekend?" And I'm like, "It's in the past. I have things to do. You don't need to know, and I don't need to know about yours. Thank you." In my Oscar ballot, I got 19 and a half correct out of 24.
Okay.
So not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad
a few
at
of
all.
those were very, very big surprises. So, and in the movie fantasy league, the Vulture movie fantasy league that I've been participating in, where I draft 8 movies, I do, and the thing runs for like half the year. It runs from like October to the Oscars. I have my highest score yet.
Oh, nice.
There are 19,493 players altogether. And I reached a rank of 438.
Nice. Broke the top 500 there. That's good.
Right. None of us have ever gotten that high, I don't think.
Good stuff. That's exciting.
On Monday morning at work, we did a little activity. We do fun activities like every couple weeks. And I wanted to do something with the Oscars, but not require that any of my coworkers know anything about the Oscars in advance.
Sure.
Like I wasn't going to make them fill out a ballot, join a pool. So I thought the morning after we'll do Oscars bingo, and I'll write like all of the winners on bingo sheets, and I just read them the list of winners and they just cross it out and see who gets a bingo first. That's easy. And I'm reading out the winners and I say best score, Sinners. And one of my coworkers says, "What does that mean? Is that like the rating?" And I'm like, "It's the music."
It's the musical score.
Right.
So what they get, like a 92? Right.
I'm like, that would, if it is what you think it is, then that would be like a mathematically known concept and not a surprise award that they would have to campaign for.
Sure, yeah.
Like, I know I'm an 86. Treat me like a 95,
now,
though.
Side note, we don't have to go down this tangent all that long. A score, right, is the musical accompaniment, right? But you can also have a musical number. Is there something there? My conspiracy hat, my tinfoil hat is coming on, right? Maybe there is.
What are they trying to pull over on us?
Yeah, maybe there is some kind of equation that's happening here that I just don't know about, you know?
This is how you start a begonia. That's going to be you. You're going to keep an Emma Stone in your basement, and this is where it starts. And then I had another coworker ask me, Sinners, what's that rated? And I'm like, do you mean R? Or do you mean like 96% on Rotten Tomatoes? What do you mean?
Yeah.
They literally do not speak my language.
It's sometimes will catch you off guard when you run into people like that, and you have things that are just like so normal to you that you never would think you'd get what's a score, like what's a musical score, what does that mean? You're just like, how do I answer that? I'm not as good as Kumail Nanjiani on his like right.
We should summon him and he can help explain these things. He's so good at it.
Exactly.
Our number one explainer, handholder, leader. Like they all, you've got letters after your name. These are real financial professionals. They know the numbers, but I know the score.
Put that on your resume, right? They know the numbers. I know the score.
That's such is my purpose in the office. Kyle, in recent years, typically running up to the Oscars, this is the first time I'm doing it afterwards. I do something called the Wet Awards here. And the Wet Awards is where I take the 10 Best Picture nominees and I rank them on a scale of wet to dry. Who's our wettest film? Who's our driest film?
Yeah.
Who's just sort of right in the middle, average humidity?
Yeah, exactly.
It's an extremely stupid way to judge 10 of the finest films made that year. I'm keeping it going this year. We're going to change it up slightly. I'm done with wet and dry. My spectrum this year is wheels and legs.
What's in the middle?
Well, you're going to find out.
But like, how would you describe that on a scale from wheel to leg? What is the what's the score in the middle? Maybe it is.
They don't combine in a literal sense.
On a scale from leg to wheel, the middle is anamorph.
It isn't. They're not going to like merge together in 5 pictures on the cover of a Scholastic book. I mean it. Who has the most wheels? Who has the most legs?
God, if
like,
I still had my Photoshop skills, that'd be the cover art of this episode.
A movie with wheels also has legs in it. Like Brad Pitt has legs.
How many legs are in Cars?
But
the movie Cars. Do we see actual
there's got to be
people?
like a bird in there.
Yeah, I guess you can see animals.
Birds are cars. They don't have animals. They just have littler cars. Perhaps none. Absolutely none.
There you go. That is the most wheel movie.
Wow, our first movie with no legs. None. Not a leg at all anywhere. Let's get started on the legs side of the spectrum. Most legs goes to Hamnet because it is a period piece and they don't have cars.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you see a wagon like once or twice. Mostly that's Jessie Buckley walking around.
Okay.
Number one leg movie. Number 2, Frankenstein. He's made out of legs. Like Oscar Isaac had to go and like find some legs somewhere and be like, what legs are right for my creature? Legs were thought of.
Yeah.
Number 3, The Secret Agent, which inspired this entire thought exercise. There is a scene in The Secret Agent where a disembodied leg attacks people.
Okay. Huh. All right.
You should watch it. It is a great, like,
not
70s political thriller.
Like that's the kind of thing I expect just from the name Secret Agent, right? It would be some kind of action, espionage, spy thriller kind of thing.
Not quite. But not really.
Just from the name. Right, like that, like what you would maybe picture based off of that name. And then you're telling me a disembodied leg attacks people?
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you want to know about it, or do you just want to watch the film?
What's the elevator pitch?
In The Secret Agent, a mild-mannered professor has pissed off the wrong guy in the political turmoil of 1970s Brazil. And now there is a hit on his head and he's on the run and he has to do secret agent type things. But he's like, I'm just an engineer. I just want to go home to my son.
Like Rami Malek's The Amateur.
No, because at least he works adjacent to literal secret agents. This guy's just like, I'm just Wagner Moura. I'm just here being hot at a gas station. What am I to do?
I have to go home and grade papers.
Do you want to know about the leg or not?
Yes.
Okay. So they pull up a shark. These marine biologists pull up a shark from the river, the lake, the ocean, a body of water. Inside the shark is a leg. And not a leg that the shark ate. It's a leg that was clearly like cut off of somebody in some sort of attack. And so people are trying to obfuscate the leg and who's missing the leg and who did this. And in this time when there's all sorts of crimes happening, and maybe you know who did the crime, but you can't point directly at them and be like, that person did the crime because they're like up there in the government.
Right.
Apparently I think in real life there was a newspaper writer that would write about these things, but would just say a leg did it. Like, a leg killed 5 people today. And so the movie visualizes this. Here comes the leg.
Okay, interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
That made a lot more sense than like I'm having whiplash here of like secret agent. I kind of know what to expect. Right. Disembodied leg. What is happening? Oh, okay. That explanation kind of makes sense there.
I didn't know how much whiplash you wanted. I'm like, the choice is yours. Will you take it or not? And so now I've explained the leg to you.
Okay.
Our 4th most leg movie, Sinners. It's got cars in it, so it's closer here to the middle.
Sure, yeah.
There's wonderful scenes where they drive. The movie opens and ends with driving. But, you know, it's sexy. There's dancing. There's gyrating. Leg stuff. Our most middle movie, I think, is Sentimental Value. A movie that's mostly... I think they drive at some points, you know. And when you're in the house in Sentiment... Do you know this one?
No, not really.
Okay, Sentimental Value. This won the Best International Feature Award. It's from Norway. Stellan Skarsgård plays a director who...
Okay, I think you've pitched me on this one before, yeah.
Is estranged from his 2 adult daughters. He comes back into their lives because he wants to make a movie that is loosely inspired by their family line, and he wants his oldest daughter to play essentially her grandmother in this movie. And she's like, no, you are not there through our whole childhoods. You were always running off to make a movie. I don't know you. I don't want to work with you.
Right, yeah.
And so instead he hires a major Hollywood actress to play this role. And he wants to film it in the family's estate. Like the actual house that's still in the family. And his 2 daughters are like, this is our house. And you see like the history of the house, every generation of the family that has lived in this house. And a lot of the angles are like floor point of view. So you are looking at a lot of leg.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Begonia, I think the first one that is firmly more wheel than leg. There's some bicycling.
Yep.
There's some car.
Mm-hmm.
Next is Train Dreams, which doesn't really have car so much, but train have wheels. And there's like carts and wagons and things.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Next, Marty Supreme. He runs around a lot, but also there are the car scenes as well. Second most wheel movie, one battle after another. Those incredible car chases.
Yeah.
And obviously, number 1 wheel movie, F1, a movie that is literally all about tires.
Yeah.
It's not about shoes. It's about tires.
There you go. Good stuff. Congratulations to all the wheel to leg movies. They did a great job.
And this is a spectrum. So like nobody wins and nobody loses. No side of this is right. It's
some
just
of them have
like
a leg up on the others, but
true. Yeah. But it's not like who is best. That's why I started this. I'm like, what is the dumbest possible metric by which I can discuss these films I enjoy in a way that gives no judgment at all, no real criticism. It's literally me just thinking, was there more running or more driving?
That's fun. That's great. Gotta love it. Let's take a quick break for some housekeeping. When we come back, we will talk a little bit more F1. And some pop culture lightning round stuff like that. So yeah, we shall be right back. We've been making podcasts and exploring the universe for the past decades here at the Whatnauts, but to keep doing that, we need your help. If you've enjoyed this show, please consider supporting us by going to our website, thewhatnauts.com, and signing up for a free 7-day trial of our Patreon, or gifting a subscription to someone you think may enjoy our shows. A subscription gets you access to episodes early and over 40 hours of exclusive content, including the most recent episodes of our Patreon first podcast, The Pilots Club. If you don't want another subscription, no problem. There's even an option to buy the Pilots Club collection as a one-time purchase, which gets you access to the newest episodes of the Pilots Club as we record them without the monthly subscription. Once again, that's the whatnauts.com to sign up for a free 7-day trial. But one of the most important ways to support us is simply leaving a nice rating and review on your podcasting app of choice. It seriously helps us out a ton. Lastly, go subscribe to our YouTube channel for video versions of the podcast, and for any other updates, follow us on Blue Sky at thewhatnauts.com and at Threads, the Whatnauts Official. Thank you so much for your support. All right, we are back. Once again, a big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. We love you a lot. It means a ton. And an even extra bigger shout out to Ashley. Thank you so much for supporting us. It means a lot. We appreciate you. Thank you, Ashley.
We do.
Yeah. Pilots Club stuff. We just released our episode on Emerald. Did you know that Emerald Lagasse, that Food Network chef, had a short-lived sitcom in the early 2000s? Because I didn't, until Melissa mentioned it, and we watched it on the Pilots Club. So if you are...
I remember things like these. Yeah. Somebody must.
So we went and watched that and talked about it. We had a good time there. Over on the free version of the Pilots Club, I'm a little bit late in releasing our next episode, but it is Welcome to Eltonville is the next one that's up. Yeah. So you know what, that guy, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, the creator of that comic and that series and stuff. I follow him on social media now. He's still active. He's still making stuff. He's still drawing those same characters like all the time. It's fantastic. So yeah, go check out Welcome to Eltonville. Especially if you're into comic book nerd stuff like me, like I am. But yeah, let's see. Like I already mentioned, Paradise Season 1, that is still coming up. We are still doing that. So be on the lookout over there for that. But that is it for housekeeping right now. In the midst of that, I tried to like unplug and replug my Stream Deck to see if I could relaunch it. So I'm going to test and see if we can get into our pop culture lightning round by hitting the button and playing the song, because that would be awesome if it works. And I need to test that. Here we go.
I haven't heard anything all night, so I don't. Did it work?
It did play the thing, so it at least recorded on video. Good to know that you can't hear that one. I will make sure that I fix that and do all of that.
Great to know.
Yeah, great to know. Pop culture lightning round. Melissa, we got a few quick things to talk about here. Patrick Wilson has been cast in The Last of Us Season 3 as Abby's father. I'm excited to see what he can do in that role. I don't know how much we'll get of him, knowing the story. I know you're not familiar,
right. It's always
but
funny to me when you bring these things that mean very little to me. I love Patrick Wilson, but I don't like a dystopia. I'm never gonna lay eyes on The Last of Us.
Yeah,
it's one of the final things I would ever do. But still, you insist that I know. I guess for Patrick's sake, it's good that I know.
Yeah. In more casting news, Aaron Pierre will reprise his role as Jon Stewart in Man of Tomorrow, the next Superman movie.
Nice.
I guess we got to see the Lanterns trailer a couple weeks ago, which I thought was a great trailer, despite it not having very much green in it. I think that was my only complaint, but I feel like that's so superficial.
All I knew is YouTube thumbnails that are like, where's the green? And I just watched this trailer like before we sat down. Like, right, I still have not watched the thing. And I'm like, this stuff's in here. The iconography is in here.
Iconography.
You see the costume in a closet. They just don't put on the costume and make a big hammer.
Yeah,
It's Kyle Chandler flies at the end. I ain't never seen that.
But it's like it's what they did with the Zack Snyder DCU, where like everything seems so like dusty and desaturated. Like it was a real dark, dusty green. They are in
the West.
Sure.
And I think I've never been, but I think it does look like that.
But when
this
the
was originally
look
pitched
like that
as
too, you know.
This was originally pitched as what if Green Lantern but True Detective, and it does look extremely True Detective.
It felt like that too. I agree 1,000%.
There is the spectrum in comic book movies of the desaturated and the hyper-colored, and I don't feel like I have a good fixture on what is the absolute middle point, and do we like the absolute middle point or not? Do we want everything hyper-saturated?
No, not everything. Like it needs to fit for the project, and so I can see.
Right. And some things like the Punisher doesn't have anything too hypersaturate. He's a black and white guy. I'm talking like for anybody that does have a colorful spandex, like old school comic book costume, there's always the fight of, do we do it like that, or do we make it more realistic and gritty and grounded in black leather jumpsuit? And I feel like most times they do the black leather jumpsuit, people are mad.
Yes.
And I'm like, so is there just an area of the spectrum we're not allowed to go in?
It's a problem with adaptation, right? Where I think a lot of people for so long thought nerd culture and comic books and all that stuff, it's kind of silly. It's only for nerds, right? So then when like, okay, maybe people like it, but we kind of need to make it cool for everyone though. So let's strip out some of the bright colors and all that. Like it has that trend to it. And Damon Lindelof got in trouble this past week because I guess a year or so ago he was on a podcast saying they decided to call it lanterns because they thought green was silly and they didn't like the comic booky feel of this thing. And Grant Morrison wrote a blog about his comments being like, hey, if you don't want to make a superhero thing, don't do it. Like, superhero stuff is brightly colored, and you shouldn't be ashamed of that. Sure, you can make it look dusty or desaturated in certain stuff, but like this is a part of it. Embrace the campiness, the corniness that some of this stuff has, as much as there also is these like darker, serious, more dramatic stories. And so he was kind of harping on like, why are we continuing to hire creatives that don't like the source material? It makes no sense. That being said, he was also like, we know that Damon Lindelof can make his own ideas and stuff like that. He has a good like creative mind. So who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens with the show. I'm excited.
I figured it was called lanterns as more of a metaphor to they are a light in the darkness. And if you put green in front of that, it muddies that metaphor slightly.
I mean, sure. Yes. Yeah. I can see creative decisions being made like that. I don't necessarily mind them taking the word green off the title or something like that. But it
opens up to the many colors of lanterns.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah. It's just it's a fine line to walk. Right. And it's hard sometimes, but I'm excited for lanterns. You seem to be dressed for the occasion. You're in a green shirt.
It's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it is.
Did you honor St. Patrick's Day? I did. I just thought about Cillian Murphy for a few solid minutes.
I don't think anyone has ever explained to me what St. Patrick's Day is actually about.
Oh, there were like a bunch of snakes and the guy made the snakes go away. And I don't know if that was literal.
So it's just an anti-snake holiday?
I don't know. I come from You can't ask me, because I come from like a family line that's very religious, but not in the way that they told you the stories. I don't know anything, absolutely nothing. I just
I
know, like,
gotcha.
all right, you go to church on Sunday and you be nice to people. And if your old neighbor asks you to go grocery shopping for him, you do it. Because I don't know, I guess
Gotta help
Jesus would go
people.
grocery
Yeah.
shopping for his elderly neighbor.
Yeah.
They don't tell me the lore. I don't come from a lore line of Catholics. So my entire attachment to St. Patrick's Day, my mom's side of the family is Irish. And like her grandparents like came over on boats and worked in kitchens. They were like that sad Saoirse Ronan movie, Brooklyn. They did exactly that, but in St. Louis and not in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I like, it was my grandma's holiday, and she'd go to the grocery store. You know, when they dye the white carnations green,
Mm-hmm.
and like they dye the popcorn green,
Yep.
and they make the snake bread. I love that
Get the
stuff.
green
I love the like really
beer at the
silly
pubs, the
like,
green bagels.
right. I love the third-hand iconography of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
It's not my job to tell you. As far as I know, it is Patrick Wilson. But he's the Patrick we celebrate
And
today.
thank you, St. Patrick Wilson, for the Shamrock Shake. It truly is delicious.
I've never even had a Shamrock Shake.
I don't think I have either, to be honest.
I don't think, how Irish am I if I've never had a Shamrock Shake?
Anyways, back on track here. Something is Killing the Children. One of my favorite comics is getting a prose novel this October. It will be entitled Hope is a Knife. And it's co-written by James Tynion IV and Kirsten White. I'm not familiar with their work, but it seems like they write other novels as well. It will follow the main character of Something is Killing the Children. It's not like a side character. It's in the universe of, but you know when you know, it does follow the main character, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. Different version of that one. Here's one I thought was interesting. I don't know what to do with this information, though. Junji Ito has a short story called Old Records about haunted vinyl records. Pretty neat. I think we saw
wonderful.
Like in the Junji Ito we've read, I think there was like a page or something that had something similar in that was not the entirety of the story, but it had that idea. And yeah, he has this short story. It is being turned into an audio drama. But here's the kicker. It will be exclusively available on vinyl records.
Appropriate.
Yeah, I think that's pretty neat. I'm never
People
gonna
will be
listen
into
to
that.
it. I'm like, who knows?
Right,
I'm
me
sure
either.
a year down the road, it's like, okay, it's up on Spotify now. You guys can go check it out. But yeah, they have a Kickstarter and everything. They're hoping to raise $20,000 to make it happen.
Is this going to be in what language?
They
languages?
actually do have a trailer. There is a Japanese version and an English version. So
okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I am not a record person. I'm not an album person. I'm not a music person. I want to listen to a 3-hour-long podcast. They don't put those on wax.
Well, they do now.
There have been podcasts that have released like condensed versions on a vinyl record, but I'm like, no, I want it long.
Yeah.
I want it beefy, please. 3 hours, 46 minutes talking about Mulholland Drive. I don't put it on a record.
What's a like a more popular podcast that's known for its like 5-star run times? That's not a problematic one. Because you could get something like that, like a 5-hour long thing, and then I would want to see the vinyl record that could hold it. Like, I want to see how big it is. Right? Is it like super giant?
Oh, it's like an it's an IMAX, yeah,
Right,
like one of those IMAX platters. Like they just have to roll the Brutalist down the street to get it from theater to theater.
An extra long record needle arm to make sure it can go all the way in on that thing.
It's a crane,
Right? Yeah. That'd be fun.
I think One of the best places to listen to an audio drama is in your car at night.
Sure. That makes sense.
I hope that eventually it does come to some digital format, because you can't put a record in a car. That's too much to rig up for this.
Yeah. We got some teaser trailers that came out in recent times. We got a teaser trailer for Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
In recent memory.
Yeah. Past couple weeks here. Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Jessica Jones is back. She appeared in that one. I'm super excited. Today, I think, is when we got the Dune Part 3 teaser. That was pretty exciting. Definitely was like trailer length, so it felt more like the atmosphere tone piece rather than like, here's an actual story trailer. The only other thing I've heard about this is that the story is mostly taking place 17 years in the future, and it's going to be more of an action movie than the other two have been.
Sure.
Dang, this teaser trailer was good. I liked it a lot. That music was incredible. That like image of the like person in the real thin wispy white like linen, looks so good.
Great stuff.
Incredible. So I'm super excited about that. And then the streets have been talking, Melissa. Rumor has it that we get our first Spider-Man brand new day teaser trailer tomorrow. They've been releasing short clips on different social media channels.
How short?
Just like 1 or 2 second
Vines?
real clips. Yeah, like that they've then
they just put Spider-Man into old vines.
Basically, and was like, this account can go here, this account can go. But they've stitched together all of the clips, and we have like a total of like 6 to 8 seconds of footage, right?
A vine and a half.
Yeah.
Great.
So it's not much, but we're supposed to get that tomorrow, I think. I guess by the time this goes public, it'll already be out, hopefully. But
I wonder why tomorrow.
What is there any significant date with tomorrow? What is tomorrow? The 18th? March 18th.
I guess just to like own the space. Like if you do it
during Wednesday, that's New Comic Book Day.
It's Wednesday, my dudes.
Yeah. Exactly.
See, the vine was there the whole time. That's what I choose to believe.
Maybe it's some anniversary of the source material, or some comic they pulled from was released on March 18th or something like that. I don't know.
I presume it's just to own the space, and that if they came out during Super Bowl, they're fighting with all the other trailers that came out during Super Bowl. And if they wait until what's our big like beginning of May movies that are out? Is it like The Devil Wears Prada 2? It's not super something Spider-Man like compatible. So I don't know, I guess they're like middle of March.
Yeah, something like that.
People need hope. They need Spider-Man.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's kind of about it for pop culture lightning round. Melissa, I do finally have our little jingle for the fastest lap, our F1 thing, but unfortunately you can't hear it right now. Yes.
Stop right there.
Time out.
Time out.
You have an addendum.
I saw a movie. I saw a very important movie, and you're going to sit down and let me tell you about it.
Do it. Let's go to our cinema corner.
Last night. Thank you. Thank you for telling me the button has been hit.
Yeah.
Last night, I went to see an early sneak preview of Project Hail Mary.
Ooh, okay.
Apparently, this movie's like it's like an Amazon MGM co-production, and this was for Prime members. Although nobody made me check, nobody confirmed if I or any loved ones had a Prime membership.
I mean, Melissa, you are a pretty Prime member, so you're welcome here anytime.
I got all kinds of legs and kinds of wheels. It does open with a little clip from Ryan Gosling being like, hey, thank you for Prime members for coming to see Project Hail Mary on the big screen. I love these videos at the beginnings of a movie screening where they have to tell you that you thank you for being there, because most of the time you can tell this is like crammed into the actor's schedule and they're tired and don't super want to be there.
Sure.
I think
Unless
every
you're Tom
once in a while I've
Cruise
gotten
and you're
one
also being like, and remember to turn off motion smoothing on.
Right. I made sure that the movie theater has motion smoothing just so that they can turn it off. This only existed on TVs first.
I wouldn't put it past them, to be honest.
What else can be smoothed? I think this cliff is too smooth. Although the smoother the cliff, the greater the challenge for Tom Cruise to climb.
Truly, Mission Impossible.
Smooth, everything too smooth. Tom v. Smooth. The villain of this movie, it's two villains, and it's played by Rob Thomas and Santana.
Oh no.
Stars, if you don't want to film the video that says thank you for coming to the movie theater, I'll do it.
Hire
I
Melissa.
love this stuff. Right, I'm available.
You all know the numbers. I know the score. I can record this thing.
I know the score.
Yeah.
I know the score. And thank you for coming to see The Sheep Detectives.
Thank you for coming to see First Cow. Thank you for coming to see.
I made them put First Cow back in theaters.
You just need to start a YouTube channel where that's what you do. That for every movie that comes out, you just put out your own version of that. Thank you.
Right.
Us here at Regal Cinema, thank you for coming to First Cow.
I do it. So I do covers of existing thank you videos that I think I can do better. And I do videos for movies that never had these.
Right, yeah.
Hey, Melissa Wilkinson here. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for coming to this theater to see Aladdin 2, The Return of Jafar. Your belief in us really means the world of difference. Enjoy the film. Watch out for Jafar.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so
render upload.
That is an
just have
extremely
a million of
funny
them.
idea. Right. Like nobody else is making these from scratch at home. It's only like a big movie studio corporate byproduct. There aren't homegrown indie artisanal.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm so-and-so. Thank you for coming to the theater to see so-and-so movie.
To be honest,
start doing
if you do that, there's bound to be some movie out there that is like, we need to get
will
her.
Hire me.
Yeah, we need to get her to do an actual thing.
I can wear a beautiful sparkly pantsuit like Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
I like this. I'm eating a popcorn. I'll have the big popcorn that I only take a single popcorn off the top and delicately put it in my mouth. I take one little sip of a Coca-Cola with the logo facing the screen. I'll do alternates. I'll do one for a Coca-Cola theater and one for a Pepsi theater. But otherwise, it's the same video.
One for Regal theaters, one for AMC theaters, one for Cinemark, one for...
I'm coming to join you, Greg Marcus.
Yeah.
I do love these things. I love the movies all the time. I love these videos. You're right. I should start just making these things myself.
Yeah.
I'll rent a movie theater for my birthday, but we're not going to watch a movie. Instead,
you have the Melissa cut, or you have the Melissa cut of whatever movie it is you're watching, and it just has your intro to the start of whatever movie it is.
When you're watching Turner Classic Movies and they've got that little video at the front where Ben Mankiewicz walks out into that living room and he's like, "Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Tonight you're going to be watching Double Indemnity."
Yeah.
And he tells you some facts about Double Indemnity. I need to start making those myself for my favorite films. And I can recommend the film to loved ones. And also, here, in addition to me yelling at you about this at a party, here's a small video you can watch where I walk out into the living room and tell you facts about the movie.
Yeah.
I do a Ben Mankiewicz LARP and explain the film.
Exactly.
And then there's one at the end. Yeah. That's so fun. That's a great party. Like, we rent a house, everybody wear a nice outfit, come with like a 3-minute script about your favorite movie. We're going to record all of these.
Yeah.
I love this. Again, people don't make these themselves at home. We need to start doing that.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Anyway, I saw Project Hail Mary, and I saw it in Screen X, where it's on the sides.
Yeah.
This movie is phenomenal.
Good.
It is a very high caliber time, and scientists have toiled for years. How do we synthesize Gosling? How do we get the best of all Goslings? And this movie, first off, it is all him. It's just like him in space. It's the whole movie really rides on that guy.
Cool.
And there's tearjerker Gosling, like the Notebook Gosling, and then there's clown Gosling. And you know I love buffoons. He's beyond buffoon. He is full on clown, like capital C clown. What he does with his body, with his face, how he moves.
When
clown.
I think clown
I say this,
Gosling, I think Remember the Titans. They're gonna put me in the movies.
yes, that's part. He's always been clown, and I say clown with like the highest level of regard. It's so important. Our world needs clowns. Capital C clown, underlined, bold, italic. This is the first movie to completely synthesize tearjerker Gosling and clown Gosling. It's both up to a 10. Nobody's ever done this good before. He was like born to do this.
Nice, good stuff.
It's funny. The music and sound is cool. It looks cool. It is all around a really impressive piece of work. And cool to see in Screen X.
Yeah.
Screen X still does not completely work for me, because a wall is a wall and a screen is a screen, and you can project on the walls, but that don't make it a screen. Like, the fidelity is slightly different. The color temperature is slightly different.
This is your motion smoothing. Yeah.
Right.
A wall is a wall.
Like,
a screen is a screen. Thanks for coming to AMC.
Now enjoy Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Or is it? I like it. I like the technology. We're on our way.
Sure. Okay.
We'll get there someday where it is like everything is a screen. I don't want walls. Erect screens around me in like a massive empty warehouse.
Like a big dome.
I want to go to
Vegas.
A paradise. Right. A paradise. Yeah. That's just like big screens around me. Go see this. Go see this, please. See it on a very, very big screen with whatever extra features of your choosing.
Cool. Good stuff. Well, yeah, now let's finally get over to our F1 corner. Cool. Fun. Hopefully that all sounds good on the recording here. Melissa, I'll have to like send you a little clip of it to hear what it sounds like. Yeah, Formula One had its second race this past weekend in China. It was the Chinese Grand Prix, and man, it was an exciting one again. I have two notes written down on my thing. One is Chinese Grand Prix, and then in all caps, Kimmy.
We had, much like the Dune films, we have our boy king.
Yeah. It was an exciting one, eventful again, just because all the teams and the drivers are figuring out their cars. My poor McLaren boys, again, did not start the race because they both had problems with their cars.
Like, literally the world champion and the guy who very nearly was world champion.
Yeah.
First off, the fact that Oscar can't make it happen in his own hometown in Melbourne, like, breaks my heart.
Yeah.
That's the new Le Curse of Leclerc. I can't wait until we actually solve this. I think we need a committee. We need a task force to figure out how to get Oscar to win in Melbourne.
Yep.
Yes, there are several people, because them, Alex, somebody else, who could not start the race. There's people who could not. Somebody had to back out of formation lap. 7 drivers could not do the race. I've never seen it that high before. It's so funny and so heartbreaking, but also so funny when it cuts back to them just like hanging, just like sitting there.
Yeah. They got their big old
so
headphones
sad.
on. Yeah. Watching some screen.
They're just walking around in their branded gear, and it was so cold in China, and they're all wearing like more layers than you've ever seen them in, and they look so sad and so cold.
Yeah.
And I would have, when F1 was nominated for an Oscar, I thought, are any drivers going to show up? And it wasn't until last week when I realized, no, dummy, they have to race in China like that morning. I don't think they can get there in time. But then McLaren didn't make it, and I'm like, well, is this extra like 2 hours the time they need to like get them there?
Catch their flight right now, yeah.
Right. And I pictured a road comedy that is Lando and Oscar trying to get to the Academy Awards. Like, get him to the Greek, but it's get Oscar to the Oscars.
Yeah.
They get into hijinks. It would have been great. Instead, they just wore their coats and were sad.
They have to employ like former F1 drivers to help them get there and drive them fast enough to get from place to place.
It's all cameos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel Ricciardo, what are you doing here?
Thank God we ran into you. But yeah, the McLarens didn't make it on screen. Yes, you were about to say something.
I love the concept of a wacky buddy road trip comedy, but where everybody is literally a world-class race car driver.
Yeah. So yeah, it's an interesting race. In qualifying, Kimi Antonelli got pole position. So congratulations to him. That's a big one. And
youngest ever to do it.
Yeah, youngest person ever to get pole position in China. And then he had a phenomenal race. He was ahead by like 6 or 7 seconds for a big chunk of it, which is fantastic. And he did end up winning the race, his very first F1 win. So congratulations to him, because that's so exciting. It's his second year in the sport. It's great.
Such a strong showing so early in his career when he was like a wunderkind to begin with. And then it's him, and then it's George, and then it's Lewis, who is still like Mercedes family. And I watch like I love all the pageantry. I watch like the podium and the champagne and the photos and the interviews and all of that. And I love that they're taking all these pictures like it's a family reunion, and it's like, is Lewis in the photo? Yeah, Lewis is in the photo. Get in here.
Yeah.
It felt so positive. And all of the back and forth between like George and Lewis and Charles, and especially the one that is just like Lewis and Charles back and forth, back and forth. I love when you hear Charles on the onboard saying, that was fun.
Yeah, that was when he was racing his own teammate, when he was racing Lewis. He was like, man, that was that was good.
Fun. And the engineer says, I'm glad. And then and then in the post-race interviews, Lewis is like, that is some of the most fun I've ever had racing.
It's so good to see him back up on the podium, because last year Lewis won the sprint race in China. Great. But that was it. The rest of the year, he had like a terrible year with Ferrari. So the fact that Ferrari's been up there is really exciting. It's good to see. Yeah, and
I'm hyped for Ferrari.
Happy to see him back up there,
And we are in this weird space right now where it's either flop city, you can't make it on the track, you can't make it past lap 2, or it's like you are flying, you are dancing, you are at the height of your powers. There's like really high highs and really low lows so far in this season.
Yeah.
I find it very comical and like inspiring. And like, who knows how these teams who are struggling are going to turn it around if you give them a little bit of time.
Yeah. Because just
we truly don't know what'll happen.
2 years ago, McLaren started out like they were okay when they started out, but they certainly weren't up at the top. And it wasn't until like halfway through the season that they started skyrocketing up enough to win the constructors. And then they won the constructors again last year. But now here they are, like they've barely done one race. Like they
right.
They've had Lando do one race. Yeah.
Right. Lando did one race and right. Oscar like bonked on formation or something.
Yeah.
I don't think he like got to start. Yes. They've done out of 4 possible races.
Incredible
they've done one.
stuff. So yeah, it's been a crazy time so far, but it's still super early in the year. So who knows how things will turn out down the road.
Tides come in, tides come out.
Yeah. Speaking of down the road, it is official. The Bahrain and Saudi GP will not be taking place in April for the safety of everyone involved. They have said nothing will take its place. So they're not swapping things around of like, oh, well, we could do, we'll do Austin in April or something. Nope. It's just as of right now, there's no F1 happening in April. And I think this is the same for F2, F3, and F1 Academy. They were all supposed to be in those same places. And they're like, yeah, we cannot send people over that way. So some bummer news, but who knows if they will be put on someplace down the road. That's difficult, but not impossible.
I was curious about this being new to the sport. I'm like, do they often, if needs require, like double up on a certain venue? Do they just postpone things and then like a lot of races there at the end of the season? Do they just do less races in a season? I'm like, I'm new here. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, they have canceled races in the past. I think they've moved things around in the past as well. So we'll see. Because F1 does also take a summer break, but it is like 3 weeks off. So they could technically move them there and just say April is your spring break instead. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens down the road with that. So there you go. That's our little F1 corner. That's all we got for today. So without further ado, let's wrap things up right there. Melissa, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
You can email me at yourhostmelissa@gmail.com. Tell me what movies you want me to do a TCM intro to. I really want to do this now.
Yeah. If you want to stay up to date with me, I am at Yo Kyle Springer. And if you'd like to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at thewhatnauts.com on Blue Sky and at the Whatnauts official on Threads. So please go like, share, and subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that. If you're watching this on YouTube, this side, go check out more of our videos right over there. That would help us out a ton as well. And yeah, this has been the Whatnauts episode 6. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.